Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Black Hammock is a huge hotspot, Geneva, Oviedo. When the people from Geneva call me, I know there's a problem.
Mosquitoes are already a problem, and you're looking at part of the solution for mosquito season. Why one county says chickens, yes, chickens, play a critical role in getting results. Good evening, this is News 6 at 6:30. Thanks for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Justin Warman.
And I'm Ginger Gadsden, also an Orlando mom at risk of losing her home, all because of a loan she got for a new air conditioner.
Trying to figure out in my mind where I'm gonna come up with this kind of money at.
It's like taking a butter knife to a gunfight.
And this Brevard County couple is in the same boat, and we got results for both of them. We'll tell you about the loans they got and the warning they now have. That's a little later.
Now at 6:30, though, we do want to start with a warning for drivers with lead feet in school zones. Starting tomorrow, you'll be caught on camera and fined. And one city is cracking down. School zone speed cameras are about to go online in Eustis. Trooper Steve got a sneak peek at how they worked last July as part of a pilot program. Now, those cameras were installed in February, but they weren't ticketing drivers at the time. They're giving folks a grace period to adjust to the new rules. But if they had, hundreds of tickets would have been given out. 776 violations were spotted in just 5 weeks. As News 6's Emily McLeod shows us, those warnings turn to tickets tomorrow.
After a 30-day warning period, the new speed zone cameras here in Eustis resulted in 767 warnings, but just in one school zone. So this camera right here is located near the Orange Avenue and Prescott Street intersection. Eustis Police Chief Craig Capri tells us he hopes the $100 fines that will be issued beginning Wednesday will bring that number down to zero.
This isn't even throughout the entire city.
This is
just one school zone.
One school zone, 767 warnings issued in a 5-week period.
When you saw those numbers, were you surprised?
I was surprised. I was a little concerned, like, okay, this confirms the data that we looked at, the scientific data, that there is a speeding problem there.
Now, what some people might not realize is that you can still get a speeding violation even when school zone signs aren't flashing. So these signs that are posted warn drivers that these cameras are active during the entire school day. So if you're caught speeding during any of these times while school's in session, you could see a $100 fine in your mailbox.
This program, I hope, changes that behavior, and I hope that we don't issue a lot of citations. That's the goal of this program, because if we're not issuing speeding citations, it means people aren't speeding in school zones, and our mission's accomplished.
Eustis Police Chief Craig Capri also says there will be someone who looks over every violation recorded to make sure there's no mistakes.
We're going to make sure that every violation is a valid violation, that it's been reviewed as a valid violation before we issue that violation where they have to pay $100. We understand $100 is a lot of money to people here right now.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Chief Capri also tells us drivers will have 30 days to pay their fine or appeal it. If they don't, it becomes a moving violation, which could result in points on your license. In Eustis, Emily McLeod, getting results, News 6.
Developing tonight at 6:30, we are working to get more information from police on this scary and dangerous scene on I-4. Troopers tell us a driver led them on a pursuit through several counties. Sky 6 flew over the scene, and you can see the aftermath. Troopers tell us a driver of a gold Chrysler Town and Country took off from police in Lakeland. Now, that's when other agencies, including Florida Highway Patrol, started to follow them. The driver ended up exiting onto John Young Parkway and crashed into a barrier. A canine helped catch him, and the driver was arrested. As soon as we know what led up to this and who that driver is, we'll keep you updated. Right now, a debate is underway on a plan to crack down on sex offenders. In Volusia County, council members are hearing debate on new rules that would make it more difficult for registered sex offenders and predators to find a place to live. It will also put more distance between them and areas where kids are usually around, like schools and playgrounds. News 6's Molly Reed is in DeLand and talked to council members and parents before debate on the plan began.
The county council is upstairs debating this right now, but I ran downstairs real quick to break down what this would mean. Now, if this ordinance passes, there would be an increase from 1,000 feet to 1,500 feet for the buffer that sex offenders need to have between where they live in places like playgrounds, churches, and schools. It also makes those terms like park or playground more clearly defined, so there would hopefully be no room for mistakes. It was last brought up in October and was met with some pushback. A couple of council members were worried this would make it harder for those people trying to find housing. Now, Councilman Danny Robbins was the one who originally brought this up, saying that there needs to be more protections, with Volusia County being the 5th highest in the state for the most amount of sex offenders and predators living here. Now, right before I came here to the meeting, I ran over to Earl Brown Park right around the corner to ask the parents on the playground what they think about this. Please, so just a lot more peace of mind.
A lot of peace of mind, but here it's hard for me to let him out of my sight with all the rest of them. So, I worry about the schools because my grandchildren are in school, and it's just very hard with the middle school, the high school. I got them everywhere. Yeah. And it's going to make a whole lot of difference.
And the council is getting ready to vote on this right now. Just within the next few minutes, we'll be bringing you the updates on if it passes or not on our website, clickorlando.com, and of course right here on News 6. In DeLand, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
Well, if you have spent some time outside this week, you may have noticed more mosquitoes. Warmer weather plus some rain mean more of them are out. And Seminole County wants to know what they're up against as they have dealt with an already busy winter season. News 6 reporter Catherine Silver shows us their first line of defense.
It's the pest none of us miss. And warm and wet weather means mosquitoes are back.
As soon as the weather's pretty and everybody's out, they start hitting the beach. Everybody starts calling like they've noticed it.
Teresa Jones is the manager of Seminole County's Mosquito Control program, and they're already busy.
Not having the cooler weather has made us have to start earlier. It's a little bit more wet this year than it was last year, so we're hitting the ground running.
Are there more mosquitoes than normal this year?
Yeah, usually this time of year we're a little slow. We've been busy since January. We've been trapping since January, so our trap counts are elevated. So we've been out larviciding and adulticiding probably since the end of December through today. We're still doing it.
And there's something else in the county's toolbox. These chickens, these animals give us critical information, whether a mosquito is more than just a nuisance and could actually make someone sick.
Once they get about 14 weeks old is when we're able to take a blood sample from them, and it's just right under their wing. It doesn't hurt them.
You could call them the front line for mosquito diseases.
If they do come back with a certain antibody, then we know that we have either Eastern equine encephalitis, West Nile virus, or Highlands jay in the area.
The health department keeps track of how often it happens, like in June when Sentinel chickens in Orange County tested positive for Triple E. Just last week, Puerto Rico declared a public health emergency after a rise in dengue cases. Infections are common, but not usually expected until the rainy summer season. And we know there's rain in the forecast tomorrow, so we're already starting to think about stuff like
Correct.
this.
My team is out today. We're setting traps, and then they'll be going to some of those historical areas that we know can be a problem, and we're going to pre-treat.
Are there certain hot spots?
Oh, absolutely. Black Hammock is a huge hotspot, Geneva, Oviedo. When the people from Geneva call me, I know there's a problem.
And you're looking at part of the solution for mosquito season. Jones hopes that getting ahead will get results. In Seminole County, I'm Catherine Silver, getting results, News 6.
One of our top stories last night could drive record turnout at the polls this November. Reaction to what's at stake keeps pouring in after the Florida Supreme Court cleared the way for two hot-button political issues to appear on the November ballot. Voters will decide if abortion rights should be guaranteed in the state constitution. That is despite an objection from Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody, who argues the wording on the proposed amendment is misleading. The other ballot initiative allows voters to decide if recreational marijuana should be legal. News 6's Laverne McGee asked the Lake County election supervisor and others how big an impact these issues will have on turnout.
Yes, ma'am. I expect there will be quite an impact. These are, shall we call them, lightning rod issues, and many people have very strong feelings, and they'll be coming out to express those feelings, and we welcome that opportunity, that level of participation.
In the coming months, you can expect to see a lot of mailers, billboards, and campaign material trying to educate or sway voters, especially when it comes to the abortion amendment, coming from those on both sides of the issue.
In the coming months, the Yes on 4 campaign will be launching major paid and earned communication campaigns and an expansive grassroots organizing effort to ensure that we bring this initiative over the finish line.
It's clear that this is not back to Roe. It is far more extreme than Roe, and we're going to spend the next few months educating Floridians about that before they head to the ballot.
The Florida Supreme Court justice has also upheld the state's 15-week abortion ban passed by lawmakers in 2022. That decision clears the way for a 6-week ban passed last year to take effect next month.
Yeah, and President Biden's campaign team responded to that ruling, saying it makes his chance at winning Florida greater. So in a memo obtained by Reuters, it emphasized that abortion rights will be front and center in Florida this election cycle. It also said Florida is not an easy state to win, but it is a winnable one for President Biden. Keep in mind, former President Donald Trump won Florida in both 2016 and 2020.
And here at News 6, we want to know what you think about the issues of the day. So we have set up an easy way for you to react. Tonight's News 6 at 6:30 question of the day: should recreational marijuana be legalized? Weigh in at clickorlando.com/react right now. Just click yes if you support the new proposed constitutional amendment, or no if you don't think it's a really good idea. Several hundred of you have already voted so far, and right now 61% say no and 39% say yes. Again, make your voice heard at clickorlando.com/react.
And if you have your phone handy, just open your camera app, scan this QR code you see on your screen, and the link will take you to the poll. We'll have the results tomorrow night, right here at 6:30. Coverage of those two proposed amendments remains one of the top stories trending tonight on clickorlando.com.
Yeah, number 2 has to do with Powerball fever. No surprise there. The headline: $1 million winning ticket, Powerball ticket, sold in Orlando. So was it you? Here's what that lucky store, where that lucky store is located. The $1 million ticket was sold at the Sedano Supermarket on South Orange Blossom Trail. That's just south of Deerfield Boulevard and north of the 417. News 6's Ezzy Castro talked to Powerball players there.
Someone out there has $1 million right now because they bought the ticket here. So like, you think about that, you're like, man, why wasn't it me?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, God got his way, so I'm happy for that person that won the $1 million too.
That's amazing. I wish them the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was me, but what can I do?
I wish it was me too. I'm here with my cortaditos. It wasn't us, unfortunately.
But that's good. That's good. If you play, you're entitled to win.
The Powerball, $1 billion. You got a chance to be a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire. So are you going to be buying tickets here today?
Absolutely. Even though that's kind of scary, huh?
What, being a billionaire?
Being a billionaire, I'd be like, what? Just like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of scary, but I take it.
Yeah.
A billionaire so bad. All right, it's just over a week ago that someone purchased another winning Powerball ticket. That one was in Ocoee. And if you didn't hear that correctly, yes, there was another rollover in that Powerball jackpot. That's crazy.
I just love that soundbite. It is scary. I'm with you.
You're going to find friends and relatives you didn't know you had or want.
Hermit. I'm going to hermit. Adios. No one has hit the Powerball since New Year's Day. The reason, well, the odds are truly against you, right? It is the lottery. The chances of winning the top Powerball prize, 1 in 292.2 million. But the $1 million ticket shows people do win prizes. They do.
Yeah, it really happens. If you're feeling lucky, there is now $1.09 billion up for grabs. That's tomorrow. $527 million before taxes if you take the lump sum, and why wouldn't you? Remember, the only place you can see those winning numbers drawn is live on WKMG right before News 6 at 11 o'clock. Again, that's tomorrow night, so stay tuned.
Hey, what do you know? The IRS wins regardless.
Yeah, you're not going to really be a billionaire. You're going to be a millionaire many times over, but it's still good.
Uncle
I'll take
Sam
it.
Taking that cut.
All right, you could say tonight's third top trending story is seeing a bit of a return from the dead.
So the headline, nation's most haunted restaurant is found right here in Florida. Here's why it's so spooky. ClickOrlando.com and News 6 digital producer Anthony Talcott first pinned that tale just before Halloween.
Oh, it's back.
But our Click Orlando viewers are apparently still very interested in this, Tony.
Yeah, Ginger, Justin. So Ashley's Tavern in Rockledge features such tales as the ghost of a woman murdered in the 1930s. Now, it could be worth checking out if you haven't, or if you just want to go back. Now, according to research from SmokyMountains.com, there are over 800,000 search results dedicated to Ashley's mysterious hauntings. Now, the most popular is the tale of Ethel Allen, a 19-year-old woman who frequented the tavern in the 1930s before she was murdered. Now, her body was identified by her tattoo on her thigh, a rose with a noose around it. No one was ever arrested or charged with her murder, and back then, the restaurant was still known as Jack's Tavern. Today, the food menu talks about her and all the hauntings around the building. In 1982, a former manager claimed to see a pair of legs clad in boots under one of the bathroom stalls. But when she went to go check it, the stall was empty. Now, the water in the water basin will sometimes turn on unexpectedly, and a few people have seen an image of a young woman in the restroom mirror.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I've had the strange. I haven't been to that restaurant, and
I don't have plans
I don't.
to. We're good.
I don't like ghosts, but sometimes here, Tony, when you go into the restroom and there's no one else in there with you, you had the water turn on? Because we have a ghost in the building, apparently. Did you know this?
It would not surprise me. You get those leaks every other week, so.
It's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just last year, the two servers felt as though they were pushed while they were coming down the stairs. And I guess some random songs began playing when everything else was turned off. Glasses on the bar have been broken, will not be touched. There's just a whole bunch of stuff going on there, and you can learn all about it. And some of those other ghost stories from employees right now at clickorlando.com.
Okay, have you been?
Yep. And I gotta
Okay.
say, their Irish nachos are fantastic.
Okay, but how's the...
So it's a great place. It's got a bunch of memorabilia around, so if you want a good ghost story, that's the place to go.
Did you feel anything while you were there? Anything feel you? What happened?
Well, thankfully, nothing felt me. Otherwise, we might have another problem on our hands. But yeah, no, it's a great place. It has awesome decor. They really love to get in the spirit of Halloween. And if you go on Monday nights, they actually have a resident ghost hunter come into the building to tell you about all the different stories that are going on. So it's a great place to hang out.
Listen, they do sell alcohol there, Ginger.
They do, and that might
Kind
have had
of
a part
warps
to
the
play.
mind a little bit over
Okay.
time,
Yeah,
when the
I would
volume
need-
is a little up.
I would need some liquid courage to go in
Yeah,
there.
I
All
think
right.
so.
Tony, thank you. Yeah,
That's again
it's so
fascinating.
strange that story from October is trending now. People are still interested. All
Enamored.
right. Our weather's today flirted, though, with record heat.
We have some storms on the way, though, right, Tom?
We do. What's an Irish taco?
I don't know,
Nacho.
Tony.
Nacho. What's an Irish nacho? Roasted potatoes.
And delicious, apparently.
It's like shepherd's pie.
Bangers
but
and mash.
nachos.
Oh, no, okay. Take a look at the big problem for tomorrow. It's this cold front that's on the way. That's a storm maker right there. I'll be back to pinpoint when it arrives and when the storms will get to you.
It's good. It teaches me about debit, credit. It also teaches me how to manage money.
Oh, it's so important. One city is helping hundreds of students learn on the job at no cost to their employers. Details of a win-win that gets results.
First, though, a loan for air conditioning units almost had two different families losing their homes. How our reporting stopped that from happening and got results. That's next. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in the Villages, Point Siena, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Now at 6:30, lawmakers in Tallahassee say they want to protect homeowners from getting in over their heads. They just passed new consumer protection rules for clean energy home improvement loans, also known as PACE loans.
Yeah, the new rules are not helping people who are already swimming in debt created by the big payments that they come with. News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval exposed the problems with these loans in January, and his reporting is already getting results.
We first met the woman who lives in this house back in January. She got it with the help of Habitat for Humanity, and she came this close to losing it because she was late in paying back a loan that was attached to her property tax bill. So you had no idea you were delinquent until we showed up today?
Because my other daughter in the house, she say, Mom, why's China 6 outside? I'm like, I don't know. She said, but they look like they come in here. I'm like, what?
She was so embarrassed about it, she didn't want us to show her face. We're not going to let you lose this.
I can't afford it. I have no, it's too many homeless people already on the streets. I can't be another number.
Flash forward 4 months, we helped her get results.
My name is Angela Wiley.
And Angela isn't hiding her face anymore.
I think everyone who is a homeowner that has went through what I've gone through or going through what I'm going through, they need to see my face at this point now.
Angela said she needed a new air conditioner and insulation in her attic. So she signed up for a state-approved, property-assessed clean energy loan, or PACE loan for short, through the Florida PACE Funding Agency. PACE loan payments are attached to your property tax bill, and they're paid once a year. So Angela's loan payment added more than $1,500 to her tax bill each year. She said she thought it was a grant, and she had no idea that she was 2 years past due and about to lose her home. After our story aired, an anonymous News 6 viewer helped Angela get results in a really big way, paying off her entire $15,000 loan.
I was shocked. I was crying crocodile tears. Like, this is not happening. This can't be. And I even asked her, are you sure? You sure this is not a scam? And she says no.
We also got results for Rick and Kathy Yerkes here in Melbourne.
We hadn't had air conditioning in years.
Really? So this was going to be a luxury.
Yes.
They had taken out the same kind of PACE loan, but from a different company called Y-Green. They needed a new air conditioner. So you can see they got their air conditioner, but Y-Green pulled out of the state of Florida before they paid the contractor. So Rick, what happened since our story aired?
Well, since your story aired, Y-Green reached out to me and they've taken care of it.
So this is the settlement that you got?
Yes.
What does it say here?
Well, it basically says they are going to take care of the problem. They're going to pay the air conditioning company.
In fact, as part of their settlement, Y-Green made it a requirement to make sure WKMG knew the matter was settled. Do you feel like we got results for you?
Absolutely. I don't think this ever would have got resolved without you guys helping me.
I just thank you because I'm still here.
So we helped you get results?
Yes, you did. Absolutely.
Eric Sandoval, getting results, News 6.
Isn't that incredible? And you know, sometimes we stand here and we do these stories and you feel helpless. But this is truly why we do what we do, because Eric was a voice for that woman who felt she had no power. And someone just generously came forward. $15,000. Can you believe that?
It's why we do what we do and then we follow up afterwards, because if Eric doesn't follow up and continues to ask questions after that story airs, we don't know what happens. But I'm so glad for this outcome, and we want to help you get results. So scan this QR code right there, and then send Eric an email. Tell him what's going on that you need help with, and I think he's the man for the job to help you get results.
They put WKMG in that note because they don't want Eric at their door. While you're doing that, I want to tell you about a new law aimed at protecting consumers from PACE loans. Eric told us about it. It's still waiting for the governor's signature. He has not indicated whether he is going to sign it, though.
So during committee hearings, lawmakers said the PACE loan system in Florida, it needs a lot of work, and they are hoping that these new protections are just the beginning. Well, of course, continue to follow it.
Of course.
Well, the city of Orlando is spreading the word about its summer youth employment program.
And that is why we saw a new worker behind the counter today at Sweetie's Ice Cream on OBT.
There you go. Orlando is springing.
We know that guy. That is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer dishing up some soft serve. Sweeties is one of the businesses partnering with the city and Career Source Central Florida. About a decade ago, co-owner Eric McIntosh was a student in the program, learning the fundamentals of earning a paycheck and saving money.
Well, now it's like a full circle. I can come back and employ the youth in the same community as I did as I was growing up with youth employment.
It's good. It teaches me about debit, credit. It also teaches me how to manage money, how to write resumes, fill out job applications, and it's just good to like the environment.
That is so important. Kaylee Johnson is one of the participants. The program employs more than 600 teens through a 5 weeks receive financial literacy training, job experience, and networking skills, all while also getting an hourly salary. The program is targeted towards students between 15 and 19 years old. Those are pivotal years right there.
No, that's a pivotal program too.
That's
to learn
for
all
sure.
the things, that's invaluable.
It really is. I remember learning how to balance it just in something called the checkbook.
No, I had to do that too. I'm not that young.
I know. The deadline for students to apply for Orlando's Summer Youth Employment Program is this Friday.
Businesses have until the end of the month if they'd like to participate. It doesn't cost them a thing either. We posted all those details under this story on clickorlando.com. All right, so the man pinpointing some weather moving in is the man for the job. Chief Meteorologist Tom Soros. What do we have going on? Are we expecting some big-time storms to roll through here?
Yeah, it'll rock, and we're a little bit better than marginal for severe, so it shouldn't be a widespread all-day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from time to time, some of the storms could get severe tomorrow. Take a look where we stand tonight. Nothing going on this evening as we head into the early evening hours. Radar is dry, it's calm enough. I know it's breezy, but there's no big action on radar, which is fine. We don't really want that. Here's satellite and radar together, and here's our rainmaker for tomorrow. This cold front right here is the troublemaker. You see the frothiness extends all the way up into the Great Lakes. There's a pocket of low pressure here, so it's wickedly stormy up here. Not so much down here. Storms from Nashville to Huntsville. You get down to Louisiana, it's a little bit calmer, but they will fire up a little bit tomorrow. So here in Central Florida, we're in the slight category for severe tomorrow. If you're watching from the Cape down to Melbourne, you're in the marginal area for severe. Our biggest risk will be the lightning and the high wind. Lots of lightning tomorrow afternoon, and some of the wind gusts promise or have the potential to get up to 60 or 70 miles per hour. That'd be tough. Tornadoes are always possible with any severe storm, but we're not expecting a widespread tornadic outbreak. Okay, how did we do today? We did great. We hit 88 for the daytime high, 7 degrees above the norm. Light Orlando delivering Hope Camera, 84 degrees at news time. We've been slow to drop because the sun is still up. It's still super warm. Here is the Daytona Toyota Deland Kia Cam. 83 degrees in Daytona Beach. Temperature reading in Ocala is 79, 78 in Gainesville, 85 right now in Kissimmee, and 77 in Cocoa Beach. Big ridge of high pressure has been dominant for days on end, but now the high is giving way, and this front is marching from Louisiana into Mississippi right now. By the time you wake up and get to going tomorrow morning, it will be in Florida, then into the Big Bend by 11, causing some prefrontal rain to come to Central Florida. Once the front goes through tomorrow evening, well, temperatures become the star of the show. A reinforcing shot of cooler air by Friday, another one on Saturday, so not going to be a big turnaround. We're going to drop into the 70s and kind of stay there. Here we go with the rain for tomorrow. This is 11 a.m. till 1, from Palm Coast to Ocala early, then from about 3 to 4 to 5, anywhere from Daytona Beach, New Smyrna to Orlando. Then by 6, 7, and 8, we wrap her up. Then the cooler air comes in and we go dry for the weekend. Lows tonight, 60s and 70s in Orlando tonight. 70 is the low, increasingly cloudy. Here's tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Okay, look for that daytime high tomorrow to hit 84, rain chance 80%. 7-day outlook. Windy, stormy tomorrow, a weather alert day. The rain should be into Orlando by midday. The high is 84. 75 and dry on Thursday, and from there things look great. Gorgeous weekend. Saturday's high, 74.
Looking real good. Thank you, Tom. Well, when it opened, it was the biggest and most expensive hotel on the Las Vegas Strip.
But nearly 7 decades later, the last guests have checked out of the Tropicana. What's replacing it when News 6 at 6:30 continues? Back in 2 minutes. It is the end of an era on the Las Vegas Strip. The iconic Tropicana Hotel is closing after a nearly 67-year run.
So it would have celebrated its 67th anniversary on Thursday, but the doors closed just before 2 this morning. Oh, the hotel opened April 1957 with a $15 million price tag, 300 rooms, the casino. It was called the Tiffany of the Strip. At the time, it was the most expensive resort that had ever been built in the city.
I remember coming here as a kid and, we actually stayed in our car. We didn't have the money to be able to get into a hotel. And now to be invited here as a comedian and to be able to close out at one of the most legendary casinos in Las Vegas, it's been surreal. It's been like a dream come true.
The resort will be demolished later this year to make way for a new Major League Baseball stadium that will host the Oakland A's starting in 2028. I know another Tropicana that could use a demolishing.
Oh, no!
I mentioned that the Tropicana had 300 rooms at opening. That was considered enormous at the time. The MGM Grand Las Vegas has 5,100 rooms.
Well, the problem is you can't open something like the Eye
Yeah.
and have that in the same vicinity. And
The
please,
Sphere?
That's it, the
Sphere.
Sphere. But I remember it being a big eyeball. Thank you for that. Also, do not talk about Tropicana Field that way.
I know, no. Only around you, though.
Oh my
You're the only
gosh.
person who likes that.
I love it. It's
facility.
72 degrees
That-
and perfect.
that's the only
every
redeeming
single game.
quality. Mhm.
Every single game. Hey, thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Justin and I are going to have words in the parking lot. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. They'll see you back at 11. I'm going to get a head start. Bye.